Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I am Taylor Justice. Jeremy Hawa is a Lamar University professor who teaches his students how to record, edit, and create their own films. Jeremy is here today to tell us about an upcoming showcasing opportunity for film students and how he prepares them to show their work to the community. Hi, Jeremy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Taylor.
Well, thank you for coming and speaking with me today.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and start this off to get to know, I want to know the process to the filmmaking first. So tell me a little bit about what you teach your students.
Well, what I do is I really do try to engage my students in a very real world kind of grounded way of understanding the art of filmmaking, because just like any other art form, it's a medium that they have to learn how to take control over if they're ever going to be successful with it. So we will start off with the basics of production, typically starting off with the three basic production phases, which are pre-production, principal photography, post-production, and we try to complement everything that's done in the classroom with real-world applications. That's one of the things I strive very hard for, because I think the academics of cinematics is very important, but I think that most students are never going to have it really resound within them unless they have ample opportunity to put it into practice in the field. So that's something that's very important to us here at Lamar. That's something I'm very passionate about, is actually getting them behind a camera, getting them to work, and giving them those opportunities to experiment with it, make mistakes. I think that's some of the biggest learning opportunities they're going to have is when they get out there and they start kind of understanding the particulars and the technical specifics of filmmaking, everything from working with camera, controlling lighting, recording good quality sound, understanding the process, being ready to communicate with other professionals on a working set. There's a real, part of what I teach is not only the technical aspects of it, but it's the vernacular that will happen, because once you step on a film set, it's almost like the crew will start speaking a different language. There's a true vernacular to it. I'm sure it's very similar in broadcast, but filmmaking kind of has its own, unique language that we use, and it's very disciplined. So it's really providing students to have those opportunities in the field. I think that's really what makes those lessons that happen in the classroom stick and kind of take root.
How long does it usually take for a student to grasp the entire process of filmmaking? How long it takes for them to be able to release a film?
In a general way, it really takes almost all 4 years of their program of working, in the discipline, understanding cinematics, understanding the proper way to lens things, to light things, the various techniques that we use. But more importantly, one of the biggest and most important aspects of filmmaking is how to work in a collaborative art form like film, because you can't really be a filmmaker unless you learn how to rely on other professionals to help accomplish a singular vision. It takes a real corona of people to do that. So building relationships is extremely important. So, I would say it takes all 4 years, but ultimately, what I tell them is, the craft of filmmaking is something you never stop learning. It's like any other media that you might work with. It's like learning to speak a new language. And for most people, their first introduction to that is at the college level. So they have to give themselves time. Very rarely do you have, iconic figures like Spielberg, who are young filmmakers that just took off. For many of us and most of us, it's a lifelong journey, honing your craft. And that's what, I just try to get them to the point that they can take it to the next level once they're out of, the Lamar College communication.
Speaking of the next level, that would be showcasing their films to the community.
Absolutely.
And that opportunity is offered to them every spring?
It has been. We were on pause during COVID, so this will be our first student showcase since the COVID epidemic. It's something I'm very excited about because, number one, it is a great way for the students at Lamar to showcase their work and to the community, but more importantly to a live audience. And that's something that is a hugely important part of their education in and of itself, because first of all, when a student knows that it's not just something that they're going to be turning in that I as their professor will be grading, will be looking at, will be assessing, but when they know they have to sit in front of a live audience, and if they haven't done their best, it will show. And that's important, number one. Also having the ability to dialogue with an audience, because we're setting it up very much like you would see many film festivals. You will have a screening, and then the audience or presenters, in this case the faculty, have an opportunity to dialogue with them about their work. So there's a question and answer there. So that's something that I think is extremely important. And in this case, it really serves as a portfolio defense, a thesis defense for graduating seniors. So I'm excited about it. I know they're nervous, but it's something you have to get used to. And so I think it's a great opportunity.
So this showcasing event provides students lots of, I have forgotten the word.
Yeah.
Lots of networking opportunities.
Absolutely. We're going to have some really, we'll have a lot of great people there, not just students and family and faculty. We'll be having representatives of the city of Beaumont there. We're going to be having former alumnus there. And other artists and creatives from around Southeast Texas will be there. And this is how you really do end up moving to the next level, getting work once you're out, is building relationships. Just like I talked about before, it's learning how to network, letting people see your work. And that's what this industry is all about. I hate to say it, it's very cliched. Yes, it is about what you know, but it most definitely is about who you know. And what most, production companies, most people in this area and beyond are looking for are not somebody that is A-list in their craft, but rather somebody that is likable, a team player, hardworking, teachable, all of those things. And those are the type of students that I've found have the most success, post-graduation when they are getting placed. And they found a lot of success with that. And I think we've been very successful preparing them to step out into the greater production industry. And we've had lots of praise for our students about how well prepared they are. So I feel very good about it.
Okay, and one final question before we wrap things up. Why is it important to showcase these students' films to the community?
Well, I think that the city of Beaumont needs to see that there are, the next generation of filmmakers that are, stepping up right here in Southeast Texas. When I grew up back in the 80s, I lived here and in Fort Worth. There was no film industry in Beaumont. There was no production. There was news, but nothing even slightly in the manner of narrative film production. And Beaumont is a great place. It's always been very film friendly. In fact, we're in the process of becoming a film friendly city designated by the Film Commission of the state of Texas. So more eyes will be turning on this community as possible places to shoot as locations. And I want to prepare this generation of students, those who choose to stay in this area. I want to prepare them that so they can be an asset and find, the gainful employment in a career that they have chosen, that they can be able to do it right here in Beaumont. So I think it's very important that the city gets to see what's happening. They can take this program and really equate it with some of the other, crafts in this city that have been well supported, within the creative community. I think we're well known for music and fine art and talented broadcasters, but I want to see young filmmakers included to a greater degree in that. So that's why it's important to me. So.
Well, I'm very excited for this opportunity coming up for them to be able to showcase their work to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you for coming here today and speaking with me on this event.
Always happy to. Thank you, Taylor.
The Lamar University Student Film Showcase will be taking place on April 28th at the Richard Price Auditorium in the John and Mary Gray Center on the campus of Lamar University. The doors open at 5 p.m. for the reception, and the show will begin at 5:30 p.m. Thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.